Hello friends, it is about time for that every 2 months knitting podcast. Welcome and welcome back to our quarterly knitting project, crochet, etc. podcast, where I talk about all the projects that I haven't really filmed, or at least get a chunk of them to talk about. Sometimes I completely forget. A lot of them with the gift knitting I completely forget to mention, but I'm trying to show you a little bit before they go away. I'm going to attempt to follow the typical format from knitting podcasts that I see, which is finished objects, works in progress, and acquisitions, with a little bit of the yarn in, yarn out at the end, because I am trying to stash down. This is not a hard no buy where I say I will not buy any more yarn or project materials, but I am trying to be more mindful and intentional about what I bring in and make sure that I am using what I have. Usually people start out with what I am wearing, but I do not have any summer knits ready right now, and it is pretty toasty outside, but I did make this sunflower blanket. I didn't really use a pattern. I went on Pinterest to kind of just get a general gauge of how to make sunflower granny squares and do the join as you go method. I started with just one ball of brown and made the center for each of the sunflowers, and that is how I determined how many sunflowers I was making. It turned out to be 69 sunflower centers, so I did make one extra with Scrappy Bobs, and it is this orange sunflower. Unfortunately, when I planted sunflowers this year, they were the big bright orange ones and not the red ones, even though I do have some seeds for the red ones. I planted my sunflowers. The sunflowers got weed whacked. So this is the sunflowers that I'm going to have this sunflower season. Once again, this was a scrap busting project, and I scrap busted 18 balls. So this is a hefty scrap busting project and definitely well worth it. I love the outcome. Okay, this did not follow a pattern either, and these are just little fingerless mitts. This isn't necessarily because it is chilly outside. This is because I do circus arts and was getting into doing some straps training, and if you have the straps on your wrists, they are not comfortable and you want something to give a little cushy pad, or else they really do dig into your wrists and it's just not a good time. These were two different scrap balls, but I would say altogether, I did bust one ball to make this last podcast. I did say I got some new yarn to try to make socks with, and I do have my first pair of knitted socks. Are they good? Absolutely not. They are constantly falling off of my feet. I used a size 3 needle because the recipe called for a size 2 needle, and I thought, I mean, it's just a little bit bigger. How much of a difference can it make? It can make a lot of a difference, actually, and these are massive, and I pretty much just use them as bedtime socks. So yeah, definitely happy with these. And I got these cool sock blockers that are a foot bone. Please note, this is a ball of yarn in. Now, if you have watched my podcast before, you know that I have a thing for baby knits and crochet blankets, that I do not have a baby, but I like making the small things. Do with that information what you will. But I did make this for my brother-in-law's upcoming baby shower. This was the size 6 to 12 months, and I did use a pattern. I'll link it below, but I went very off script with the pattern. Like, it wanted you to do garter stitch for the entire top, but I don't really like the look of garter stitch, so I did a little bit of ribbon at the neck and the stockinette stitch on the top, and just, you know, stockinette down. I don't think that I would benefit that much to say that I used that pattern, but that's kind of just where I got my stitch counts from. This is the first one. This is about 2 balls, and that's going to be packed up to go to the baby shower in 5 minutes after I'm done with this video. This is going to go to the same baby shower. I use the exact same pattern, the exact same stitch counts, but instead of a worsted weight yarn, I used 2 sport weight yarns held double. So it is very thick, very plush, and I just lengthened the body and the sleeves to say, yeah, this is just a size or so up. I feel like I accidentally made a toddler coat instead of a baby sweater. This got rid of 2 balls of yarn, and I am very, very happy. Now, so far, the only baby blanket also going to my brother-in-law's baby is this beautiful one, and it used 6.5 balls. My stepmother raided my stash of baby blankets a couple weeks ago. Not that she did not have permission. She was going to a baby shower, so I told her just like take whatever blankets you want. It's perfectly fine. But that left me at a lack of purpley girly color baby blankets. I have plenty of little boy blue. Hopefully that will be very satisfying and be packed up very shortly after this video. Are you a project that has started? No, you are actually not a project that has started. This project bag, this is just for more beanies. So that is 2 balls of yarn that hopefully will get put into beanies soon. As long as beanies get me tattoos, we're good with making beanies. This is 4 balls in. This is, once again, more sock yarn. This is the Patton's Croy socks in kind of like just a variegated, just this colorway kind of like appealed to me. Like I saw it on part of a D-stash with some other yarns that I was more interested in. Just like, might as well add that to the yarns that I'm already getting. So this is 4 balls of yarn that are reserved for socks. I was told that with this type of yarn, I might want to look at a DK sock recipe instead of just a regular sock recipe, because this is a little bit thicker, but we'll see. We'll see. So that is 4 more balls in. What's this? Okay, this is barely started. This is just some scraps of sock yarn from the first pair of socks. And the reason for that they are just scraps of yarn from the first pair of socks is because I'm gonna try to make a couple like little baby socks to go along with all the other baby things. I was trying to scrap bust the last little smidgies of fingering weight sock yarn for some baby socks, and allegedly baby socks are very quick to fly off the needles because they're only like this big. This though is the socks that I'm working on right now. Look, little fish lips kiss heels, very cute. Once again, speckly. The speckles are a little bit more even on this sock than the last pair though. The kind of burnt umbery, yeah, that's a new, definitely a new yarn. Let me show you this beautiful color, like burnt umber color for the toes. As you can see, I did get to the ribbing, but I think the crazy sock lady said to do your contrast color for the heel, for the cuff, to go ahead and actually do one just plain knit round and it will look a lot better. And I think that she's kind of got a point. I don't like how the knit is kind of like pushing that white bit up just a little bit. I don't like that look as much. So I think in the future I'm just going to do one round of knit in the contrast color before starting my ribbing. I know myself enough to know that if I do not do socks 2 at a time, I'm gonna get second sock syndrome. These socks are really washing me out though, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them up. This is my collared sweatshirt that I started, I don't know, maybe in February? It started getting toasty warm, but here's it so far. We have joined the collar at the front and I'm liking it so far. It is very cushy, very warm, which is why I'm not really working on it that much when it's 80 degrees outside. This is not a pattern that I would recommend to anybody. I will keep it linked down below though. So that is going to be a long haul knit. I think I have teased before that I am working on a Cancun boxy lace top got to work on that a little bit while I was suffering the shingles face and stuck in bed for a while and just did not have the energy to even move. This is with a linen yarn. I think it's a linen something blend. It definitely feels flaxy. Hopefully this will be very nice in the next upcoming months. But this is all the progress I have right now because we went from selfish knits to baby knits, because when I thought that the baby shower was going to be in June and it is going to be like in 2 weeks, and I found that out last week. Once again, a baby knit though. I just have a little bit of yarn sequestered away as a potential baby blankie knit. This is just pink and white. Once again, feminine baby girl things, and crochet baby blankets don't take that long to make, so hopefully, I mean, I got a week. I can gun out a baby blanket in a week. That last baby blanket took me less than a day. How much time do we have? 9 minutes. Okay. So these ones very mostly are the Stashy Poshmark secondhand guys. This one is Sensible Sock in 11. I liked kind of like that peachy tone. I think it's showing up a lot more vibrant on camera, but it's got like that peachy tone for the dress that she wore in season 1 with like little very deep red specks, which I think that is like supposed to be like the nosebleed, which really sounds gross now that I'm saying it out loud. I do not know what I'm going to make with it right now because I got it and then thought maybe I don't want super light colored peachy socks. Let me know if you have any really nice fingering weight patterns that you think that I should try. Once again, it is a sock yarn, so it is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. This is another secondhand from a D-stash. This one, however, is 100% merino wool superwash. It is a Malabrigo in the colorway Swamp. It is really like this gorgeous burnt, like wine color, burgundy, purpley guy. Once again, not sure what I'm gonna do with that, if I want to like do a shawl, tank top, or whatnot. If you have been following my yarn journey, you know that I'm not allowed to buy blue. I bought blue. In my defense, it did look like a greeny blue on the listing. Now in person, like I can make socks with this. It would be real, like these would make a cute pair of socks, but they're kind of telling me they might want to be cabled socks, and I don't want to do cables right now. Maybe a kind of lace would work, maybe not. Let me know what sock patterns you think would work with that blue. Okay, this is another blue. I know I'm not supposed to buy blue, but I did anyways. But I got this thinking like those brown speckles would look fantastic with that burnt umber that I'm already using for socks. So that's kind of like my idea. 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. This came in a little plastic bag. He's gonna go back in the little plastic bag. Even though that is blue, I do have specific plans for it, so I will forgive that blue. This is a Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn in different shades of grays and browns. Once again, no particular pattern for socks. I'm just kind of like in a vanilla sock vibe. A purpley pink sock, Woolen Vine Yarns, hand dyed in Brooklyn by Woolen Vine Yarns. A giant 170 grams fingering weight merino wool yarn by Socks That Rock in like greens and pinks and purples and like all kinds of colors. I'm thinking maybe a tank toppy type deal with that one. Yeah, this is a Socks That Rock too. This is 5.5 ounces, so I think that's slightly under the 170. And this is a citrine color, so look at that, beautiful. And this is, I believe, 100% superwash merino wool too. It's a lot in, but I also got a lot out this round in my defense. And this last bit of sock yarn I got as a mystery odds and ends secret dye type thing, and she sent me it as a sock kit and gave me a bonus little mini skein for either toes or heels or whatnot. So I'm gonna count that as 2 skeins, which gives me 28 out and 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 in. I am down 10. I cannot believe I am down 10. I had so many acquisitions. So very embarrassingly, I actually had an entire bag of yarn from Yarn Candy in downtown Little Rock that I completely forgot about. So I just want to say that the statement of 10 balls negative is not exactly correct, but I am still technically in the negative. I would also like to say that I'm going to have as many Etsy and website and whatnot links down below. I would like to once again reiterate that the local to me yarn shop, Yarn Candy from Little Rock, was affected by the tornadoes. I think that I got my yarn a week before the tornadoes actually hit, so I would definitely suggest supporting local businesses, and this one to me, Yarn Candy, is my local business, and I will try to have a website linked below so you can support them and their restoration from the tornadoes. But thank you for coming on this every 2 months quarterly journey with me. Let me know any patterns or exciting ideas that you have about all these sock yarns down below with any questions, comments, or concerns. New videos should be out on Fridays, not every Friday though, so if I were you, I would like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know when I actually do post. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye!